Hello everyone and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. This is Colin and today we are going to start part 2 of War of the Ring, the epic duel. Oh my gosh, it's tied 14-14. I am recording this back to back, so if I made any errors and missed them in the previous video, I'll be putting them up right now. You should see them, but I'm not going to be able to fix them because I'm just keeping on going. I just knew this was not going to be a short video, so I thought it'd be nice to split it into two. All right, we know the first player is the Shadow player. We have Aragorn and Arwen in reserve. They have a ton of cards in reserve. They're going to start it off. One thing I do know I missed is activating the Watcher in the water. We had an active path of 5 through 9, so we should have used this action to have us forsake one card, and it looks like each player needs to, so we need to forsake 2 cards. That stinks. I always hate that. Use an action and eliminate this card, so the Free People player must forsake 1 card. I'm not in the mood to forsake cards in my hand, so I'm just going to do the top 2 cards of our deck. We have Barlam and Butterbur. That's not terrible. He can't be used really anymore anyways. And our other one is the Book of Mazarbul. Well, I guess I never get to see how to use that. I'm telling you, the Dwarf cards are pretty wimpy in this game. Ethelos here can be played on Aragorn. I'm going to cycle the Dwarven Axe. I really should have maybe eliminated that one, but it's okay. It's a good cycle card. If in play, you may use your action and eliminate this card so the Free People player of your choice may take 1 non-wizard character from their cycle pile into their hand. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that next turn. The Witch King will just start drawing cards now. We have Wolves. Okay, Wolves could be to the path at 6 through 8. This is path card 5. Can't attack in Moria because Moria is on their side, so just placed in the reserve. For our activation, let's use Ethelos. If in play, you may use your action and eliminate this card, so the Free People's player of your choice may take 1 non-wizard character from their cycle pile into our hand. You know who we're going to grab? Celeborn, and you're going to see why in just a bit. And we have to eliminate this card, but Aragorn is still around. Hopefully my plan works. It's back to the Sauron player. If in reserve, use your action to activate Peligreer if it's in the Free People's deck, and then move this card to Peligreer. Okay, Peligreer is there. It has 1 shield. This has 1 attack. What else can it can only send the Southrons, so it won't do that until it can for sure take it from us. So it won't do that yet, but that will be placed in the reserve. We're then going to place out Celeborn. We're going to give up the village militia to do so, placing that into our cycle pile, and we're going to place him right on the path. It states here, if on the path, you may use your action to activate a different random path 5 card. Well, we're already on 5B, so it would have to be the other 5B card, which is fine by me because that hopefully we can protect it and give us more victory points. Our defense on the path right now is 2. The Shadow player will respond with, the White Hand Orcs. This is another army. They can't place it anywhere. If this is eliminated for any reason, cycle it. So a lot of the army cards say that. We'll then activate Celeborn's ability. That will give us 1 victory point. He's going to be cycled because there was no attack at this location, and that's another point for us. We will flip over the next one. That's Gladil, I believe that's how you say it. And this one, we have each Free People's player draws 2 cards, then cycles 1 card from their hands. We're going to draw 4 cards. We have the Sylvan Elves. We have the Phial of Galadriel. We have Prince Imrahil. And we have Sam Gamgee, and then we need to cycle 2 cards. I think I will cycle the Sylvans and our Riders of Rohan. We'll place both of those in our cycle pile. I feel like the Witch King is just preparing himself for another insane round. Oh, we have the Balrog. It can be placed on paths 4 and 5. We're on path 5. And right now, that's 2 skulls, so it will win. +1 on Khazad-dûm. When played or moved to a path or battleground, each Free People player must forsake a card. We're going to have to forsake 2 cards. The Balrog of Moria is coming to take down Gladil. Okay, what do I want to forsake? I really don't want to forsake any cards in my hand, so I'm going luck. This could be bad. We at least know it's not going to be Gandalf. Rosie! If in reserve, no, she's gone. Rosie is gone. Sam, you're going to have to do something about that. And the Grey Company. This card may be played or moved to any battleground. Well, that would have been nice, but no, they are removed from the game. Thanks, Balrog. That's okay. We have Sam here. We will place him out using the Knights of Dal Amrath. Isn't that hilarious? We're using an entire army to just place out Sam. And really, Sam is more helpful than an entire army. I love that. Okay, he's going to be placed in our reserve because we can continue to use his ability, and that should let us still win Igladel so long as nothing crazy happens with the Witch King. Currently, the Witch King is winning both the path and the battleground, so with only 2 cards, they're going to pass. That means we'll use Sam's ability to place another shield onto the path, tying the Balrog 2-2, and this gets into our cycle pile, forcing the Witch King's hand. Let's see what they have. Oh, Candles of Corpses. That can be placed 6-7, +1 on the Dead Marshes, if in reserve, and the active path is 8 or 9. Okay, we don't have to worry about that now. That will just go into the reserve. I'd like to get Faramir out on the table so we're ready in paths 7 and 8. So I'm going to use Prince Imrahil to play out Faramir. When played or moved to a path, well, right now he is in our reserve, so that won't happen. The Witch King has one final card. Oh, it's the Beguiler. This can be placed on the path. 1, 2, 3. That would mean that they're going to win it. So they're going to place this on the path. This is absolutely great. 1, 2, 3 total skulls to our 2 shields, but we were ready for that. Shall we bring out Pippin Took? We'll use the File of Galadriel, which I love. Kind of stinks to use it for that, but it's worth it. We're going to place him on the path. If eliminated in path combat, cycle this card instead. Yeah, the Shadow player hates hobbits. This will mean we are tied at 3-3. I have no cards left in hand, and the Witch King has nothing else useful, so we are both going to pass. They're going to win Moria, giving themselves another victory point. Both of these, including the Balrog, is gone. And then Pippin will go into our cycle pile, and we get 1 victory point for this one. So that was a 1-to-1 exchange. We then will draw our final 3 cards from our deck. We have Gwahir, the Windlord. I love Gwahir. And we have Smeagol. I love Smeagol. And we have Theodred. Okay, that's 3. Now I need to shuffle this huge deck up. We've shuffled up our deck. Remember, we get to draw 1 extra because we have Aragorn in our reserve, and we have the Blade of Western And our final card, we have the File of Galadriel. Bummer, I have no hobbits, though. The Witch King player will simply draw 4 cards, 1, 2, 3, and they do cycle. That means next round, because we already passed the victory point check, I believe. Yes, victory check is before the draw step. We will then add in the Section 3 battle cards. The Shadow player just has 1. It is Barad-dûr, but we will add in 4 more into our deck. The score right now is 16 for the Shadow player, 15 for us as Gandalf. And we're going to 2 path cards. We're at 6. 6 is not good for us. We're going to have to deal with 2 of them. The only good thing is we do get a Battleground that's a Free People's one. We only have 3 to choose from. We're going to shuffle these up. We have Edoras. Helm's Deep must also be activated if it's in the Free People's Battleground deck. It is not. We already did Helm's Deep, so it'll just be Edoras. Then we have to pick one of these 2 path cards, and we're going to choose this one. That's Amon Hen. The Mordor player draws 1 card. Okay, that just means 1 card for the Witch King. He will have 5 cards this round instead of only 4. The nice thing for us, we are first to go. I think our first action for this round, we're going to use the ring. We need some more options. I have Frodo. Frodo could go to Amon Hen. Okay, that's 1 card. Our second card is Quick Beam, and our third card will be Elrond. Elrond is amazing as well. Now, really what we're looking for is his reserve, increasing our reserve, and potentially attacking because he can no longer go to the path. I need to forsake 1 card, and I hate to do this, but I think I'm going to lose Theodred. Theodred gets killed anyways, so... we're going to eliminate him, and I need to cycle 1 card. Oh no, I can't. I don't want to cycle Quick Beam. He can go to the path. I think, as great as Elrond is, I don't think I'm going to be putting him out right now, so I'm going to cycle him. Looking at our Shadow player, we now have cards, this one, and this one, 6 through 8, and this one, 6 through 9. All 3 of those can go to the path. So we're going to start with the farthest right, the Candles of Corpses, and it doesn't do anything when it goes to the path. It doesn't get the extra 1 skull because it's not the Dead Marshes. We'll place the Candle of Corpses here. I absolutely love Gwahir. However, it showed up at the wrong time because Gandalf is no longer in my cycle pile. So I'm going to use Gwahir and cycle it to play Frodo Baggins out into the path. This will make it a tie of 1-1. This means the shadow player will go to the wolves and send them over to the path. Now they're going to be up 2-1. It's a little bit early for the File of Galadriel thematically, but Frodo is going to use it. He's going to take his Blade of Westernies, which I wish he could actually use, but he's going to cycle that instead to place this out. Now it says, if on a path, which it will be, it adds 2 shields to the path, not to Frodo. So we're going to place 2 shields there. We'll place it underneath Frodo, and now we have a total defense of 1, 2, 3 to the, actually 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3, that's it, right? 3 to the 2 that's here. The shadow player has a Gollum right here, and wouldn't it have been so thematic if we'd put Gollum and Smeagol on the same location? That would be so cool. But he's not going to place him out there from how I understand it, because if he does that, we're tied 3-3, and then he wouldn't activate his ability because then we'd actually gain 2 points for that location. So instead, the Witch King's going to draw. Right now, he's losing the battleground and the path. However, he still has a meta cards, so we'll see what shows up. We've got the Wild Men of Dunland. This card can also be played or moved to any Isengard battleground. Edoras is an Isengard battleground. He will definitely be able to use that right now. All of a sudden, the Wild Men of Dunland are coming into Edoras. That's amazing. 2-1. We would need 1 more defense, and you know what I cycled? I cycled Thranduil, didn't I? Actually, I did not cycle him. I was Theodred. I got rid of him. Dang it. I only have 2 cards in hand, so I'm going to pass. The Witch King will continue to play. Okay, we have the Trolls. That would only be for a Mordor army. Can't place that anywhere. We're going to pass. I'm going to draw their next one. The Corsairs of Umbar. If in reserve, use an action and cycle this card to activate Umbar. If it's in the battleground, no, I believe they already won Umbar. Oh, was it Umbar? Yeah, there's been too many. No, it's Harad. They can do that. Unfortunately, we will have to pass. They are going to cycle this, and then they're going to place out the Umbar battleground. And you know what Umbar gives them? Each shadow player draws 1 card, so they're going to get 2 more cards. We unfortunately are going to have to continue to pass. Oh, they have Lotho Saxville Bagginses. +1 on the Shire. If in reserve, use an action, eliminate this card, and the Hobbit player must eliminate 1 random card from their cycle pile and then recycle their cycle pile. Oh my gosh. Well, that's going to happen. I'm not going to be able to do anything. That's the next action they will do. They will eliminate Lotho Saxville Baggins. So I'm going to have to take my cycle pile. I'm going to shuffle it up, and I have to eliminate this one. That is Elrond. He kills Elrond. And then I'll take the other 2, and I'll shuffle those into my deck. Not going to lie, that was kind of ridiculous. I can't believe he took out Elrond. The Witch King has 3 cards remaining. Right now, he's winning 2 out of the 3 things, so he's just going to continue to draw. He gets the Easterling Garrison. If in reserve, use an action and cycle this card to activate Rune. They already have done Rune. Yes, so that will just be in their reserve as an army that they can use. I am sincerely hoping they don't find anything to take the path. Oh, the Flock of Serbain. Yes, this is going to help them. This will not go to the reserve. Let's see, 1, 2 versus R, 1, 2, 3. No, actually, it still will go to the reserve because even if they go to the path, we are winning by 3-2. And so if the Flocks of Serbain go there, it's a 3-3. Oh, but now they have Gollum. So yeah, they can conceivably win. So this is not going to go into the reserve. It's going to go directly to the path. This is not good at all. And it says here, if on path 2 through 6, use an action to activate a different random path of the same number. So they might do that after they get Gollum onto here. Now it becomes the question, do I spend? I don't want to lose Smeagol, but I could send a Quick Beam over here. If I do that, or I could send Smeagol over there, then they won't send Gollum. Both of them can go to this path card. I was really hoping to use Smeagol to sneak past the other bad path card. What do I want to do? I think, unfortunately, I am going to pass. This isn't going to be good. Gollum is then going to come onto this path as well. And now they're winning. And this says, if on a path, use an action to activate a different random path of the same number. So it's actually the same thing as the Flocks of Serbane. We're going to pass. They're going to activate this. So that means, let's see, they needed, well, all of these are going to be eliminated. If eliminated for any reason, cycle this. So this will be cycled. All of these will be eliminated. They're going to gain 1 corruption. We will have Frodo cycled, but the Phial of Galadriel will be eliminated. We'll give them that 1 corruption. And now we have to grab a random number 6. Now, we were at a 6A. So that means what I need to do is grab the 1-6A and the 6Bs. If we happen to go to the 6Bs, which is what I'm kind of hoping we do, then what we can do is we can sneak by this. And as luck would have it, that is still another 6A location. So you know what that means? We still have to do the 6B. I don't want to put Smeagol on there. And we have to forsake 1 card. Actually, we have to forsake 2 cards. I have Quick Beam and Smeagol in my hand, and I do not want to forsake Arwen, Aragorn, or Faramir. So we're just going to do the top of our deck. We have Tom Bombadil. Tom Bombadil is gone, you guys. That's terrible. And then our second one we have is Build-A-Pony. Okay, Build-A-Pony is not a problem. The only solace we have right now is Emyn Wheel is ours, unless they can find a card with this one last card that they can place on the path, which is actually kind of amazing because it's worth 2 victory points. Nope, they found Grond. Grond will go into their reserve, but oh my gosh, when they can attack, they're going to be able to attack. It's now back to our turn, and I am going to forego Edoras. I have Quick Beam. Oh, but he doesn't have any defense. So actually, yeah, no, I literally can't. I was thinking I could send Quick Beam to defend. No. The Wild Men of Dunland will be removed, but they have gained Edoras. They have taken over Edoras very thematically, and they keep Umbar. That's 2 points. The nice thing for us, we actually get Emyn Wheel just because they activated it so late, and they have no way to get anything on there. So that was 2 points for us. Unfortunately, right now, we are getting hammered. It is 19-15. I will say, during that victory point check, we will place these final battlegrounds into our deck and their 1 final battleground into theirs. So all battlegrounds are now available. But I'm hoping to do some fun shenanigans starting in this 6B area with Smeagol, and then I have Faramir. So maybe I've got some tricks up my sleeve. That ring's going to be ready. We draw 5 cards. So we have the Army of the Blue Mountains. Whoa, that's a dwarf army. This may also be played or moved to the Shire of Grey Havens. Well, it's only if the Shire shows up. The Grey Havens, I think we've already done. We have Celeborn. That's 2. Then we have disguised as orcs. That's 3. Then we have Ent Draft. That's 4. And finally, we have the Bow of Galadrim. The Shadow player will just grab 3, or I should say 4 cards and place them into their hand, and we're good to go. Unfortunately, they are the first player, so that means one of their battlegrounds are coming out, and then we'll activate another 6 path. Please don't be a terrible location. Is there such a thing? We have Orthanc. The Isengard player may take Saruman from the draw deck or cycle pile into hand. No, he's been eliminated. And then the Isengard player recycles their cycle pile. Okay, so the entire cycle pile, which actually is only 2 cards, we'll just shuffle those back into their deck. We then have our 2 6-path cards. Let's draw this one. We have the Dead Marshes. The monstrous player draws 2 cards. That will mean they have now 6 cards to activate instead of only 4. But this one's worth 2 points. Maybe I can sneak through that. I need those points so bad. Us taking Orthanc, slim to none. Well, I do have Quick Beam, but yeah, that's pretty much it. The Witch King will start this round by flipping over the Last Stroke of Doom. Choose either add 1 strength to a shadow army on a battleground, we can't do that, or forsake 1 card to add 1 corruption. Yeah, they're going to forsake Grond then. It's going to be placed in their cycle pile, and they're going to gain another point. Why not? Just another point. Jeez. We're then going to play Smeagol, and he's going to help us get through the Dead Marshes, spending the Army of the Blue Mountains. To do so, that will be cycled. This will be 2 shields on this path. The Witch King will respond by, let's see, Death to the Strawheads. This is an event. Choose, add 2 strength to a Ruffian Isengard army on a battleground, or forsake 1 card to add 1 corruption, or draw 2 cards. I can't handle this much corruption, so I'm going to forsake the Easterling Garrison, and I'm going to have him draw 2 more cards. That's brutal, but I still think that's better than adding the corruption. That's because I want to use Smeagol. If on a path, you may use your action and add 1 corruption. So we're going to give them another point, but we're going to get 2 points for this because we have the dead marshes here. We can now activate a path of the next higher number, and this will be cycled because there's nothing here. So Smeagol's been cycled. I probably won't see, well, I might see him again. We still have a bit to go. We scored 2, they scored 1 point. Now we need to grab 2 7 cards. We're going to grab these, shuffle them up, and we're going to flip this one. That's Henneth Enun. The Dunedain player draws a card, so we will draw Thranduil. A good card to cycle. I can't believe we're already at the Path 7A cards. Okay, they're going to have another event. Choose add 2 threat or a shield to an Easterling or Mordor army on a battleground. Forsake 1 card to add 1 corruption or draw 2 cards. Yeah, we're just going to continue to forsake a card. We're going to remove this and add 2 more cards. This is going to be insane. Moving back to our turn, we are going to move Faramir to this 7 path. When played or moved to a path 7, you may activate a different path. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to score 1 point here. Faramir will then be cycled, and we're going to grab both the A's and B's, and we're going to shuffle these up. If we end up going to a B, we've already skipped another one, and we have the Crossroads. Each free player draws a card. Oh, you know what? That means we get to draw 2. We've got the Dead Men of Dunharrow, and we have Herbs of Stewed Rabbit. Those will be in our hand. We actually have a really large hand right now. We're setting up for another huge round coming up soon. I can also confirm the Crossroads is a 7B path card, so after this, we're going to be moving to path 8A already. Oh, that's awesome. Unfortunately, though, the Witch King has a ton of cards that they're still going to activate. The Mouth of Sauron. It can go to the path for 7 to 9. This card cannot be played or moved to the path if a Shadow Battleground is active. Oh, well, Orthanc is active. While in the reserve, draw 1 additional card each draw step. Okay, we'll place that in their reserve. For our activation, I think we're going to use the Ring. That's going to allow us to draw 3 cards. We are going to draw Party Invitation, the Red Arrow, and what's our third one? We have Prince Imrahil. And now we need to cycle 1, and we need to eliminate 1. I think we are going to eliminate the Red Arrow. It's great, but it's very situational. I don't see us using that a ton. I think I'm going to cycle Thranduil. He's not super helpful right now, and I have a plan with my Ent. The Witch King will flip their next card, and they have the Devilry of Saruman. This card cannot be played or moved to a Shadow Battleground. Well, that makes sense. Why would they? It has no shields. Our next card we're going to play is Quick Beam. We're going to cycle Prince Imrahil to place him out. We're actually going to place him in the reserve. I am going to use some Ent Draft with him, I think. The Witch King will then flip this card, and they have some Wolf Riders just going to go into the reserve. We then can grab that Ent Draft. If in play, you may use your action and eliminate this card, so the Hobbit player may take up to 2 Hobbit characters from their cycle pile into their hand. I'm going to cycle the Bow of Galadrim to do that. The Witch King will flip the next card, and we have the Haradrim Regulars. If in reserve, use an action and cycle this card to activate Harad. Well, the Harad has already been activated, so we'll just put this out. We'll then use our action for that Ent Draft. We're going to eliminate this card, and then that will allow us to grab Frodo from our cycle pile and put it into our hand. I wish I had more than 1 Hobbit. That's the only Hobbit I have. The Witch King now has enough attack for the Southrons to be able to take on Pelegrir, so they are going to activate the Black Fleet. If in reserve, use an action to activate Pelegrir if it's in the Free People's Battleground deck, which it is, and then move this to it. The only good thing for us is we are able to forsake 1 card to draw a card. I think I'm going to forsake disguised as orcs. I don't love how that card works. And we're going to draw a card, and we have Glorfindel. I'm unfortunately a little bit stuck here. I don't want them to take Pelegrir. I have Aragorn, and I have the Dead Men of Dunharrow. But I was kind of hoping to use them for something else. But I might need to use them. Is it worth 1 point, though, to no longer be able to draw 5 cards, only draw 4 if I lose Aragorn? I'm not sure on that one. So for right now, I am going to place out Glorfindel into our reserve. It's not super helpful, but by doing that, I do have to cycle a card. So I'm going to cycle the Party Invitation, and I will place them in our reserve. The Witch King will then move its other army here. So now it has 2 attack to our 1 defense on Pelegrir. We have the Dead Men of Dun Harrow. I'm going to use the Herbs and Stewed Rabbit to be able to place that out, and I'm going to place that at Pelagreer. We don't know if Minas Tirith will ever be activated, so I feel like I should protect what I can. The Witch King will continue to draw. We have Mordor Orcs. Can't be eliminated. We'll place that into their reserve. I only have 2 cards in hand, so I'm going to pass. I want to see what they're going to do. They will continue to draw. Wait, will they? Yeah, because they don't have the path. So they're going to continue to draw until they can take the path. We just have Fighting Uruk-hai. That would be great for defense. I'm going to pass yet again, so they're going to flip their last card, and they have the Red Bannerman. This guy can go at 6 or 7 for the path. When played or moved to a battleground, no, it's going to move to the path. This would mean they are taking all 3 things right now. I definitely can't let that happen. I have Frodo Baggins in my hand. I'll use Celeborn to play him. He's going to go out onto the path. This will secure our win at this location. And then, unfortunately, I'm going to do it. I'm bringing Aragorn to Pelagreer. Really? Oh my gosh, he has +1 shield because we do have Arwen out still. So he has 1. There's an army here, so that's 2. Then 2 more here, that's 3, 4, and 1 more shield here, which is 5. So definitely have enough. We are both going to pass. I'm out of cards. The Witch King can't do anything. They are going to take Orthanc. That's 2 more points for them. We are attacked for 2. 1 is blocked by here. I'm going to lose the Dead Men of Dun Harrow for the other one, so that's eliminated. That means I can cycle Aragorn, but I'm cycling him. I now cannot draw 5 cards. Ugh. These 2 are eliminated, and we have protected Pelagreer, so that's a point for us. And then here we will cycle Frodo. The Red Bannerman is gone, and we get the 1 point here. This means, though, we only draw 4 cards instead of 5. We have the Erebor Guard. Oh, okay, that's a good one. We have the Sylvan Elves. We have the Northern Militia. Lots of armies right now. And our final one is the Blade of Western East. Wow, that's not a great hand. We also can ready our ring. The Witch King has the Mouth of Sauron, so that means they will draw 5 cards, 3, 4, and 5, and they are set to go. We will be the first player for this at least. Remember, these next 4 path cards are going to stink. I got all the benefit paths out of the way, and now it's all the bad ones left. But we do at least get to activate a good battleground for us. We have our battlegrounds. We'll give them a shuffle. And let's do this one. We have Erebor. That's a new one. We have Dale must also be activated if it's in the Free People's Battleground deck. I think it is. Yes, it is. So we'll flip that out in just a second. The dwarf player may take 1 dwarf card from their cycle pile into their hand. I'll see if they have one. Actually, I should do that before I resolve this one. I do. I have 1 dwarf one in my cycle pile. The Army of the Blue Mountains. Putting that into my hand. And then we have the Dale. Erebor must also be activated if it is in the Free People's Battleground deck. Yeah, that's it. We don't get any benefit on this one. So Erebor came out first. That's important. And then Dale came out second. So the Shadow player is going to try and take Dale first. After it's successfully taken Dale, it's going to try and take Erebor. We then have to draw our path card. We're going to shuffle these up. This is 8A. We only have 4 more paths, 8A, B, 9A, 9B. We have the Morgul Vale. The Mordor player draws up to 5 cards, 1 at a time. Play the first Nazgul character drawn, and then stop. Cycle the unplayed cards. Hopefully, I've eliminated most of the Nazgul. Okay, that's not a Nazgul. That's 1. Next one, Mordor Orcs. Next one, a little mischief in a mean way. That must be a new one. I don't remember that one. We have Gollum. Thank goodness he doesn't show up. Oh, that would have been terrible if he had. And the Corsairs of Umbar. None of those are Nazgul. Thank goodness. Okay. We get to be the first player, so we'll start this round. Our first action, it's ring time. Let's use it. We're going to draw 3 cards. We have Éomer. Not helpful right now. The Dwarven Axe, that actually is helpful. And Sting. Okay, I like Sting. Not helpful now. I don't have any hobbits, so I'm going to cycle Sting. I want to keep that. Éomer, well, let's see. I can eliminate something from here. I'm going to eliminate the Sylvan Elves. They're okay, but I don't really need them. Currently, there is no Shadow Battleground. That means the Mouth of Sauron can move to the Morgul Vale. That will mean they'll take it, but it also means we no longer have to worry about that extra draw. I don't think there's a chance for me to take that path card. I don't have anything that can go to path 8. So I'm looking at trying to get both of those battlegrounds. I'm going to start with the army of the Blue Mountains. I'm going to give up Aomer, putting him in our cycle pile. We're going to try and protect Dale if we can. Dale can be accosted by Mordor enemies. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 total attack. We only have 1 defense there. So right now they could conceivably win. That means these Mordor orcs are going to Dale. I was so excited I had the Dwarven Axe in my hand. I was going to give it to the Erebor Guard, but you know what? It does say Dwarf. I think maybe I can. It just says item Dwarf. I'm going to say that I can. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm going to spend that Blade of Westernies so that I can play that Dwarven Axe. And I'm actually going to put it on, this also says Dwarf, right? I'm going to give that to the Army of the Blue Mountains. That means we have a defense of 2 now at Dale. Because the Shadow player is now losing, these Mordor orcs will also go there, tying it up 2-2. I only have 2 cards in my hand remaining, so I am going to pass. And then they're going to send the Black Uruks. That will be 2 more attacks. That's 4 to R2. They're winning in Dale for now. Because we only have 2 cards in hand, we will pass. They'll continue to draw. When played or moved to a battleground, each Free People player must forsake a card. There's nowhere we can place this Black Servant, so it's just placed in the reserve. We'll continue to pass. The Goblins of the Misty Mountain. Okay, right now they could send that to Erebor to try and take that from us, but they need 2 attack. This is only 1 attack, so they'll just place that into their reserve. Their next card, oh gosh, the Haradrim, the Mumakil. Oh my gosh, they've got the elephants. They can't go anywhere. Oh my gosh, don't kill me. Oh, we have Gorbag and Shagrat. They actually only provide a shield, so they wouldn't go anywhere. And +1 on Kirith Ungo. When played or moved to a path, forsake a card. They would not go to the path because they're already winning. And it doesn't say that they would be played, but at 9, they will be played no matter what. And then their last card, the reason they keep drawing is because we are winning Erebor right now. So they want to take Erebor if they can. And they get the Goblins of the Misty Mountains. No, that won't be enough. That's 2 attack. They need 3 attack for Erebor, so they're not going to do anything there. Well, once again, Colin's miscalculation is killing us. I was thinking I could play both of these. If I could, that would have given myself 2 more defense, and we could have blocked the attack from those Mordor armies. I have to pay for these, Colin. Sometimes when you're going back and forth between the Shadow player, you forget that they don't have to pay, you do. So if I played the Erebor Guard, I'd have to discard the Northern Militia. Now, if you only have 1 card left in your hand, you can forsake the top card of your deck to play it, but that's the only time you can do that. I can't forsake 2 cards to play both of these. So I think I'm just going to hold on to them, and we're going to end the round. This means we did win Erebor, so we scored a point, but here we're going to lose our 2 dwarf cards, and they're going to lose all of these armies, but they have taken Dale from us, so that's going to score a point for them. And they're going to lose the Mouth of Sauron. Thank goodness they only draw 4 cards, but we don't get the 2 points here. They get another corruption. What a ridiculous game so far. We are at 23 points. They have 25, so we are 2 points behind them. But remember, we need to beat them. We can't just tie with them. So I'm really 3 points behind. And I only have an uphill battle because guess what? They're going to be the first player. That means we're going to have another Shadow Battleground, and the 8B path cards are not nice to us, and we're only drawing 4 because I used Aragorn. Maybe using Aragorn for a point wasn't worth it. I might be paying for that. Fortunately for us, we do have 2 cards in hand, and we will draw 4 more, so we'll have 6 to use. We've got the Paths of the Dead. That's 1. Then we have Nenya. Oh, that's 2. That's Galadriel. I think Galadriel's gone. We have Galadriel for Gandalf, but I don't have Gandalf. I have 2 Gandalfs. There's Gandalf! Gandalf the Grey! Oh, our tides can turn. Gandalf is amazing. He could come out during the Path 8 card and save our butts. Somehow there could be light at the tunnel. We have 4 cards, and only 4 because the mouth has been removed. So only 4 cards for our drawing for the Shadow player. All right, we'll do a Shadow Battleground and 8B cards. We'll grab those Battlegrounds and we'll give them a good shuffle. And we'll flip this one. We have Dol Guldur. The Free People's Battleground Lorien must also be activated. Oh, interesting. And we have Lorien here. Okay, that was the second one out, so they're going to try and take that one down. The Shadow Battleground Dullgoder must also be activated or reactivated. All right, here's our 2 out, and now we need to do a Path card. Here's our 2 Path 8 cards. Shuffle them up. Let's do this one. The Mordor player draws up to 5 cards one at a time. Play the first army drawn and then stop. We'll draw 5 cards. We have Grishnok, that's 1. Then we have the Black Captain, that's 2. We have the Event, 3, that's not an army. We have a character, that's 4. And we have a character, that's 5. And Grima. Oh my gosh, we've avoided Grima every time. We've seen him 3 times, and I haven't had to deal with him. I am a lucky camper. I think we all know what the Shadow player is going to do. First, they've got Gorbag and Shagrat. This is +1 skull here. And when played, the Free Peoples, is it each one? Oh no, it just says forsake 1 card, so they actually have to forsake a card. Ooh, this is the wrong skull. So they have to do that. They will forsake the Goblins of the Misty Mountains. That's not bad. We'll place that in their cycle pile. That means they will not try and assault Lorien yet, because they only have 1 monstrosity and no Mordor armies because they just used it. For our turn, we're going to play the Path of the Dead. I really wish we had Aragorn out. We're going to cycle the Erebor Guard to do this. It says forsake 2 cards and then draw 4 cards. Or Strider was out, we get to draw 5. It is what it is. We are going to forsake the top 2 cards of our deck. Do I want to do this? I need to. I need to find a way to win these. Okay, we have, I should have looked at them, Woodman of Anduin, that's not terrible, and Vilya. Okay, both of those are gone. That's okay. We'll draw 4 cards. So we have the Guards of the Citadel, we have Gwahir, we have Gandalf the White. So we have Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White in our hand, and the Riders of Rohan. Let's put all 4 of those into our hand. I love it. The Witch King will just start drawing from his deck of cards. He has the Mordor Orcs. Okay, that could be an attack on Lorien. We have that, plus the Goblins of the Misty Mountains. That's not enough. That's 2 attack. They need 1 more to be able to take that, so they'll just place this in their reserve. I honestly don't know what I was thinking. Why have I not played Gandalf the Grey yet? I am going to play Gandalf the Grey. I'm going to cycle the Riders of Rohan to play him. He's going to go out on the path. That means we're winning it. Not only that, so long as they don't take this from me, which they would need 2 attack or 2 skulls to do so, we can get to the path 9A cards and score 2 points. The Witch King will flip over their top card, and they have an Olagai. Oh, this has 2 attack. That can attack Lorien. They have enough now to take Lorien from us. Currently, it is tied 2-2, but it won't be for long. However, for our activation, we will use Gandalf the Grey. We will score 2 points here. Gorbag will defeat Gandalf the Grey because they have to have a combat, and Gandalf the Grey is gone, but he has done his duty. We scored 2 points. We then have 2 9A cards. We'll shuffle them up. Let's flip this one. We have Gorgoroth. Each Shadow player draws 1 card. That means 2 more cards for the Witch King. I think what I'm going to do for my action, we're going to move Glorfindel to Lorien for protection. That way we are back to winning. It is 3-2. The Witch King player still has enough attack, though, to take Lorien. They have 2 more attack they can use, so these Mordor Orcs will go and join the Olagai. This is going to look kind of weird because I am going to move Quick Beam here. Moving Quick Beam, though, does not give us any additional defense because there's no Isengard characters here. I'm just doing this because I want to delay to see what the Shadow player is going to do, because I'm thinking of sending Gandalf here. If I do that, that'll be 3 more shields. It's not going to use anything more from its reserve, and because of that, the Witch King will start drawing cards, which is what I want them to do. Before they do that, though, they will grab the Goblins of the Misty Mountains. That means now they are taking Lorien. I can delay for 1 more turn using my ring. Don't know why I wouldn't do that. I've got so many cards here. We have Boromir. Do you remember Boromir? And Bilbo. And what's our 3rd card? Our 3rd card is the Village Militia. We will most certainly forsake or eliminate. Where is it? Here it is, Nenya. Nenya's gone because Galadriel's gone. And then I will cycle, I want to keep Bilbo. I will cycle the Village Militia. The Witch King does have the lidless eye here that can go onto that 9 path, because remember, right now we're actually winning that, and that's worth 3 points. However, the lidless eye, it cannot be played or moved to a path if a shadow battleground is active, while Dull Guldur is active. So this can't be played, and there's nothing else that they can place on the path. They're going to start drawing. Right now, they're taking both battlegrounds, but losing the path. They have the Goblins of the Misty Mountains. Yeah, this is why I wanted to see. That could go to Lorien, but for right now, it'll be set aside. I'm going to continue to delay. I'm going to use our Northern Militia here to be able to place Bilbo out in our reserve, and next time I can remove him to draw 2 cards. The Witch King will respond by flipping Dirty Thieving Ruffians. This is an army. If in reserve, use an action to activate the Shire if it's in the Free People's Battleground deck, and then move this card to the Shire. No way. We definitely have the Shire here. It has no shields, so they are most certainly going to do that. I just can't get enough of this game. It's so awesome how things like this happen. Okay, we're going to cycle Bilbo. We're going to draw 2 cards. We have Halberd and we have Denethor. Both of those will go into our hand. This means the Dirty Thieving Ruffians will activate. Let's bring out the Shire. We will also place that army here, and we have the Hobbit player may either draw 1 card or take 1 random card from their cycle pile. I'm going to draw a card. I'm taking a chance there. We have Legolas. Legolas could actually help us with Lorien. Why don't we do it? We're going to play Legolas. We're going to cycle Boromir. He's not super helpful right now. When played, you may take the Bow of Galadrim from your draw deck into your hand. Unfortunately, it's in our cycle pile. That would have been amazing, but unfortunately, no. We're going to place Legolas here, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 total defense. Of course, the Shadow player is going to respond by placing out another Goblin of the Misty Mountains here. So now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attack to our 4 defense. Let's then use Gwahir. We will give up Halberd since we cannot get Aragorn from the cycle pile with him. It's only from the draw deck, and he's in the cycle pile. And I don't think we're going to see him again because our deck is too large. Sometimes I should have maybe used more cards. I don't know. Gwahir has if in reserve. Well, he's not going to go to the reserve. He is going to protect Lorien. That's out of theme, but I love it still. Just imagine Lorien being attacked by goblins and orcs, and out comes the eagles to help. Now we have defense 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're winning. The Witch King only has 2 cards left, but he's not winning the path, and he's not winning one of the battlegrounds. He's going to continue to draw. He has spies. If in reserve, use an action and eliminate this card, and each Free People player must forsake 1 card. The Witch King could send this to the Shire, but they're already winning the Shire. They would love to send this to the path, but they can't, so this will just go into their reserve. Our next card play is just going to be a stall. I'm going to place out the guards of the Citadel, but I'm going to place them in our reserve. I know the final location we have is Minas Tirith, and we are going to be activating a Free People's location, so having guards of the Citadel ready will be awesome. I am going to use, I'm going to use Denethor because unfortunately Faramir and Boromir are in our cycle pile, so once again he can't find them. So this will be in our reserve. This will mean the Witch King will use this card, the Spies, and eliminate it, and we have to forsake 2 cards. With the fact that we're likely not going to see Aragorn again, I'm going to forsake Arwen and the top card of my deck, and that is the Great Gate. That is horrible. That would have been perfect with Minas Tirith, but we got rid of it. We only have 2 cards in hand, so we're going to pass for now. The Shadow player is going to flip over Shelob. Shelob can go to the path, and it's going to. Most certainly, if in reserve, it's not going to go into reserve. It's going to go right to the path. This is just mean. We were going to win that path, gaining 3 points, and now Shelob is here. What do I want to do? I can't use Gandalf to go onto the path. I can't believe how much I love the fact that that last card is totally messing with my plans. I was going to have Gandalf the White ready to defend Minas Tirith, but I think I need him to win the Shire for me. Can you believe it? So instead of him going to help the Free Peoples, he goes to help the Hobbits. That sounds good. He's going to use Glamdring, so we will cycle that to place himself at the Shire. This means we're now defending here 3-1. The Shadow player does have another Ruffian in his reserve, but it would only be 1 more attack. He has no more cards, so he's going to have to pass, and we're going to pass. This means the shadow player wins the path. Shelob is gone, but because of Shelob, they get another corruption point, and we lost 3 points from that. I'm still so mad. They also win Dol Guldur. I didn't even try there. Here, we had to use all of our shields, so everything is eliminated, but we did save Lorien for 2 points, and Gandalf is going to be used, so he's eliminated, but we did win the Shire for 1 point. During our victory point check, we are up by 1 point, 10, 25, 6, 7, 8 to 10, 25, 6, 7, 27 to 28. One more path card to resolve. I am ready. Let's do our draw step. We have no cards in hand. We get to draw 4 cards. That's it. We are going to draw Narya. Totally useless now that Gandalf is out. We have Pippin. He can help with the path. That's good. We have Death Ride to Ruin. That's an event. We'll see if we need that. And we have Sam. Sam comes at the 9th hour. The shadow player will just grab 4 cards from here. We then will flip this over to the first player being us. Let's look at our battle card. We know what it is. It is Helm's Deep. The Dunedain player may forsake 1 card to draw 3 cards. Don't mind if I do. Narya, no reason to keep you. Gandalf is gone, so we'll draw 3 cards for that. We have Andril, useless. We have Stout Staves. I don't even know what that is. It's a weapon. It needs to be on Frodo or Sam. I have Sam. And we have Theoden, which could be good. We'll see. Our final location, we'll shuffle these up, and we have the Crack of Doom. The monstrous player, aka the Witch King, is just going to draw 2 cards. So they're going to have 6 cards for this final round. Okay, we are first. What are we going to do? Well, I'll tell you the first thing we're going to do. We're putting the guards of the Citadel here, so that means we have 5 defense. This location is worth 3 points or battle card, so I want to protect this at all costs. There's currently no Shadow Battleground active, so the Mordor player is going to bring the Lidless Eye here, and they have 1 skull at the Crack of Mount Doom. Now remember, with this final round, any of them that can go to the path will. They want to win this by lots of points because all of that turns into corruption. I want to know what all of my options are. I'm going to use my ring. That will let me draw 3 cards. I have Dane. Oh, that's cool. I wish I had seen Dane. Treebeard. Treebeard can go to Minas Tirith. And I have the 3 hunters. Well, I'm going to cycle that one because I don't even have the 3 hunters. And by cycle, I mean eliminate. And I'm going to cycle Theoden because I have no location where I can place any sort of Rohirrim. At Minas Tirith, we currently have 5 defense. The shadow player can place out 3 attack. That's not enough, so they're just going to start drawing from their 6 cards. The shadow player will start then by drawing a card. The Haradrim Cavalry. If in reserve, use an action to activate Minas Tirith. No, it's already out. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4 attack. I still have enough defense, so that will just go to the reserve. I don't know about you, but I think it's time for Sam to shine. He is going to go to the Crack of Doom. He is going to cycle the Death Ride to Ruin because I don't have any Rohirrim out. And instead of placing him in the reserve, I'm going to put him right at the Crack of Doom. This means we're actually winning the path. The Witch King will respond by having the Easterling Commander. When played, drop to 7 cards one at a time. Play the first Easterling army or Easterling character drawn, and then stop. And the Easterlings cannot go to Minas Tirith, which is interesting. Also cannot go to the path. We're looking for an Easterling army or a character. Oh, we have an army right here, the Warringers, but they can't go to Minas Tirith. That's actually very lucky for us. We're then going to play Treebeard, cycling and Duel, which is kind of sad, but I don't have Strider or Aragorn, so I have to. We're going to place him right at Minas Tirith just for more defense. When played or moved to a battleground, the Isengard player must eliminate 1 Isengard army, but there aren't any. This means our total defense here is 6 now. The Witch King will flip over this card, and they have the Reaver. The Reaver can go to the path, and that will give them the win there for now. So they will not worry about this action. They're going to send the Reaver with the Lidless Eye to the Cracks of Doom. We'll respond by playing Pippin. We will cycle Dane, or Dine, however you want to say that, and he's going to go to the path. It is now tied 2-2, so we're winning. The Witch King will flip his next card. He has the Commander. Another Nazgul. They're all showing up. Don't worry about the in reserve because it's going to go to the path. And that means they're going to take the path. I don't have a way to stop that. Well, actually, I do. I have this stave. You know what? I'm going to play this, but that means I have to forsake the top card of my deck. That's okay, though. I'm not going to see this card anyway, so I'm going to lose the Northern Militia. That's fine. And then I can attach this to Sam. The ability is all about being on path 7 or 8. We're on 9, so we can ignore that. This means the path is tied 3 skulls to 3 shields. Right now, we're set to gain 6 victory points and secure the win. They have a fell beast. No. Choose. Add attack and defense to a Nazgul on a battleground. Can't do that. Forsake 2 cards to add 1 corruption. That'd only be 1 point for them. Or draw 2 cards. Forsaking the 2 cards they have out wouldn't be that helpful, and I'm giving them a point. I think I'm going to take the chance. We are going to... Is this an event? Yes, it's an event, so we're going to remove this, and we're just going to give them 2 more cards. And I have no cards left. There's literally nothing I can do. It's going to be about what these cards can do. We're going to flip this over. Lost. Choose. Add 1 skull to the active path. Then if no Free People's characters are on it, activate a different random path with the same number. Or forsake 1 card to add 1 corruption. I'm just going to forsake a card to add 1 corruption, because if I add a skull to the path, we lose. So I'm going to have them forsake, aka cycle, the Wayne Riders, and we're going to give them just 1 straight point. And that means they're tied with us right now. And then that's an event. That's gone. So we're totally lost. That actually is thematic. We'll flip the next card. The Day Without Dawn. No way. Draw up to 7 cards, 1 at a time. Play the first 2 armies drawn and then stop. Cycle the unplayed cards. If they find some Mordor or Southron armies, this could be bad. Oh, they have a White Hand Orcs. That's their first one, and that's not going to help them at all. Card number 2. This is another army, and this one says, if in reserve, use an action to activate Dale if it's in the Free People's Battleground deck, and then move this card. Well, they can't do that. We got lucky there. That means it's all up to this card, and we have Saruman's Staff. If unplayable, yeah, we can't play it on Saruman. We have to choose. Take Saruman from the draw deck or cycle pile, or just add a corruption. I'm okay with that. If they add a corruption, we should still be able to win because we're going to gain 6 points. They only gain 2. Based on what I see here, they cannot take Minas Tirith. They only have 4 attack. We have 6 defense. These can't go there. Even if they could, that would get them 6-6, and we'd be tied. And they can't send any of the Isengard armies, and they can't send a Ruffian. So I think we have just won both the path and Minas Tirith. I haven't counted everything up, but I'm pretty sure that's going to secure the win for us, which is a bit insane. This will be the first time that I've won this. So many times playing solo, I get close to the end and then I lose. But I think we'll win this one because we tied, and they didn't put anything at Minas Tirith. That is 6 points for us. I'm kind of in shock here, but we have 34 points. We scored 6 points in that last round. That was insane. We took down both things. That is what saved us. They have only 29 points. Yeah, they scored a couple extra with those events, but it didn't matter when we were scoring 6 points with both the Battleground and that Path card. Oh my gosh. I mean, I know I did a few things wrong, but overall, this was amazing, and I'm counting it as a win. Thank you so much. If you have watched both of these parts, I really appreciate you. You are amazing. Thanks for going on this journey with me. Do let me know if you try this epic duel competitively or even solo. Let me know how it goes. I thought that was amazing. I'm kind of sad with how big a deck of cards. I maybe should have just used the ring every time to make sure that I'd see more of my cards. Because when I was cycling Aragorn or whatnot, or Gandalf, I knew I wasn't going to see it again because there were so many. I also did rush some of the path cards, and that might be the reason why I saw less. But regardless, I had a great time. Thank you so much to our patrons, our subscribers. It's because of you, Barrett and I do what we do here on the channel. And if you're excited to see what we have coming next, then I need you to meet me at the table. Goodbye, everyone.